All righty. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our, today is Saturday, what is it, the 27th or the 28th, excuse me. And this is a Zoom call for the Silva Method community here locally. I'm in Farmington, Connecticut. Welcome all. And if you're watching this now as a replay, I've opened it up to the public. However, initially, this is something intended to support our community in these very challenging times. So thank you all for your attention. Thank you all for gracing me with your presence. As we all know, we're in this together, our collective community. And the intention here is that we optimize our health. And my intention here is to support you in the way that I know best, in the way that I have the most experience. I've been a trusted authority for you with guided meditations and the Silva Method technology. I am not a physician. I am not here to make medical recommendations or prescribe, and I know that's obvious. I just have to say that more for the public. Nor am I a licensed psychologist with it. I'm just somebody who's very skilled and very knowledgeable and have a lot of good resources from very, very trusted authorities who are connected with NIH, National Institutes of Health, the CDC. It's a blessing, neuroscience researchers who I have opportunity to connect with and get some information. However, there's two parts to today in our workshop, and I would like this to be a workshop for you. I hope you're going to take some notes. Is a overview. Part one, I want to share with you a framework. It's a framework. If you've been through the Silva training, particularly the new version, updated version since 2007, Silva Life System, on page 24 in your manual, it says something to the effect of 5 steps to get what you want. I prefer to call it 5 steps to create solutions, 5 steps to solve problems. And I'm going to customize this for you today and offer it to you that you can, in your own way, customize it to fit any challenge, any situation. But today, obviously, to stay healthy for wellness, this is our intention, to fortify our immune system, to do whatever we can to protect ourselves and minimize the risk and or hopefully eliminate it with that. So I just want to show you some of the things that are important is to surround yourself in a positive light and keep that in mind. So I'm ready here. I've got some hot water that I'm drinking with a mug that my children prepared for our first 2 grandchildren. They're now dated, they're bigger than this. But when I look at pictures like this, I get a smile on my face and it reminds me what's important. This is more current that I got more recently with our 3rd edition of our grandchildren. And there's my beautiful daughter and so on. There's me, goofy grandpa, with 2 of our grandchildren in Chicago by the lake walking some time ago at my daughter's graduation. But anyway, little things like that help us to keep our spirit, to keep up, because hope and optimism, especially at a time like this, is so important. If we begin to lose hope, we kind of lose everything. If we go into a cycle. So let's do a part 2 then will be a guided meditation. And again, a framework that I will teach you, clarify it for you, and you can use it on your own. And it'll be here on the video. You will get a replay, and I highly recommend. It's something that I've used for decades, that I've taught, I've brought all around the world. It's not the be-all and the end-all. It does work, though. It's very simple, very powerful. And some of it, what we'll cover today, may be common sense. The trouble with common sense is we don't always follow common sense. Sometimes we know things, but we don't always listen or follow through with what we know, especially if we start feeling helpless, especially if we start getting very upset and overwhelmed and angry. It's hard to think clearly. And we know that neurologically, we cut off a lot of the blood and the oxygen to the brain, which makes it even more difficult to strategize and think clearly. So let's do a very short exercise. And I know that there may be people, because I've opened it up to people who've subscribed to my video newsletter, who have yet to go through the Silva training. So I don't know your background. I don't know how familiar you are, with meditation. Hopefully you are, or whatever the tool is you're using. And also, what I want to promise you and assure you is I'm going to speak from this technology that's been developed since 1944, and now there's tons of evidence. In the early days, when I began as a pioneer, most of it was anecdotal. So we know so much of it is there relevant. However, out of context, some of what we do that I spend 4 days in the immersion, life and intuition system, explaining, looking at the research, practicing, then we get results. So out of context, if we don't understand something and we have questions or it seems odd or weird, of course, we're not going to use it or listen to it closely. So I'm going to purposely speak general and remind you Silva practitioners, you have incredible skills. Use them. They work, and I'll refer to some for you. So instead, I'm going to just use some music in the background, and I'll have it very soft in the background. It's a piece that a musician working with us. So just simply, very short, 3 slow, deep belly breaths. Whenever I say allow a deep breath, what I recommend is you inhale through your nose very slowly. Feel your body, and then exhale out your mouth. Like you're blowing out a candle. And I mean really, just release the stuff. Desire to just relax and tune in. 3 times. And then I'll ask you to feel some genuine appreciation. Always a good way to begin. Some gratitude. Get you into a state of grace some. And there's good research behind this, as you know. Then our intention. And I'm going to use a model, but again, generally, that we use in the Silva program that has to do with accelerated learning. It's what I used in school in the 1970s, when I began at the ripe age of 19, flunking out of college and wound up graduating cum laude using these very principles that I learned through my Silva studies way back in Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, so it's called previewing. So I previewed objectively, now subjectively, as you quiet yourself. And the idea of the meditation is to bypass the critical dictator, the critical mind that always dictates from a point of view of, forgive me for saying, the know-it-all syndrome. And nobody knows it all. And we're all, again, in this together. So that you have superior concentration and you get the most out of this. And so far, so good. It looks like the muting of everybody worked good. And again, forgive me. So please allow a slow, deep breath. If it's safe, obviously it should be you're at home or isolated. Allow your eyelids to close. Nice and easy. And thank you for allowing me to be your guide during this process. Slowly allow a very slow, deep breath. Take your time. Really slowly filling your body. Imagine you're drawing in wonderful, refreshing oxygen, energizing your body, brain, and mind. Oxygen is a vital life force. If you look up the word breath or breathe, it means life force. And oxygen is the #1 priority. Then as you exhale, remember you're going to exhale out your mouth comfortably and desire to relax. Desire to free yourself from any of the tensions. Now allow another very slow, deep breath. Take your time, inhaling very slowly. Beautiful. Hold it briefly. Exhaling out your mouth. Keep exhaling, just release the junk. Imagine you're releasing worries, tension, that which no longer serves your highest good. Remember, worry is like a rocking chair. It gives us nothing but something to do. And the risk is worry makes things worse because it increases stress levels. So let it go. You've got support. Allow another very slow, deep breath. That's it. Take your time. Center yourself. Desire to center yourself in a healthy, vibrant manner. And as you exhale, Oh, how good it feels to progressively relax deeper and deeper. It is a wonderful, healthy state of mind and body. Now, I'm going to momentarily pause briefly to allow you some time to appreciate, to feel some genuine, heartfelt gratitude for anyone in your life whom you are happy is in your life, for any opportunity in your life that you're pleased about. It could be as simple and obvious as your grandchildren, your children, your spouse. And really feel it, not just think it, emote it, exaggerate the feeling. Emotion is the driving force. Emotion helps to heal. You may do so now. For example, I appreciate you for your support over the decades. I appreciate you and your kind words. I appreciate you for being here, taking your valuable time, and giving me the opportunity to hopefully help and support you and nourish you. Now, you may on your own, just briefly, how good it feels to progressively relax deeper and deeper. Today, you're in attendance, a Zoom call, workshop, master class to optimize your health. A self-healing meditation framework for you today and any day that you can use to support yourself and your health and your well-being. Today you will hear and experience what you need to enhance the quality of your life. Today you will enjoy superior concentration, superior understanding, feeling wonderful, elated. If you're a Silva trained practitioner, remember you may use your 3 fingers technique. Noises will not distract you. They'll help you to focus more deeply, to be fully awake, fully conscious, with superior concentration and understanding. And in the future, any and all this information will be available to you quickly and easily, anytime. Our intention, you may want to reflect on your personal intention. The obvious intention is to be vibrant, healthy, to boost our immune system, to do what we can to minimize the risk. And now, in a moment, this exercise will end, and you may open your eyelids, feeling awake, feeling alert, feeling much, much better than before, feeling the way you feel when you've had just the right amount of revitalizing, refreshing, relaxing, healthy sleep. You may now open your eyelids, be awake, be alert, feeling fantastic. And as we like to say in our Silva training, welcome back, you genius, you. Welcome back. Woo, baby. Such a simple little step, and perhaps one of the most important things you can do, not just in this current global crisis, but anytime. There's thousands and thousands of peer-reviewed papers on the benefits of meditation, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, physically, for your immune system. It's no longer anecdotal, folks. It's no longer, because, what they used to think was maybe just placebo. It's a fact, evidence-based. So welcome back. And let me just warm myself up a little bit and be here with you. So first step, guys, I put this together really quickly. I hope the lighting is good. I did my best. I hope the sound is crystal clear. Forgive me because I just finished a 10-day training. I wanted to do this for you. I needed some time to catch up with family, with friends, my priorities. I needed time to rest my voice and to recuperate. It was fun. I love doing this, and it's demanding. So we're back. So I put this together real quick. Excuse all the emails because I didn't even ask people to register. Because I didn't have the time to deal with that. Just wanted to put it out there. So first step, the framework. I mentioned before, it's a framework they're going to call 5 steps to create solutions. Again, it's on page 24 in your Silva Life System manual. Even if you're not Silva grad, you don't need to be. It's there. This is what we call it. So it's about solving problems. And the framework is pretty simple. So forgive me, I don't really usually work with notes. I prepare, but because of this being new, I am going to occasionally refer and cheat a little bit and refer here. So the very first step, most important step in this framework, and you want to jot this down, if you don't have notes, is to acknowledge the circumstances, to acknowledge the current reality. So if you remember way back when we were all starting to be introduced to the benefits, the value of positive thinking, that's been for a long time, people misunderstood. And they thought that if they were to identify a problem and talk about it, they were being negative. What do you think? Can you relate? We know that's not so at all. But the first step, if we're truly going to solve a problem and create, more importantly, solutions, we first need to know what we're dealing with. We first need to understand the current reality. We first need to identify the circumstances and the current realities. So keep yourself informed. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of confusing opinions. National Institutes of Health, CDC, World Health Organization, maybe third, I would say, are reliable, trusted authorities. Or if you have them, I've been listening to geneticists and people who know the virus. Corona is not new. It's been around. It's this strain that is new and this confusion, and they don't know for sure. That's a fact. But when you study people who are geneticists and understand the biology, they paint a different, so it's all in your perspective. You got to get that information. It's important. Then, once you have, we don't want to worry about it, and we don't want to ruminate over it, because that'll make it worse. And we certainly don't want to go into fear and panic mode, because if we go into fear and panic mode, so I just remembered some things. You want to honor your struggle, you want to accept, and recognize that we don't want to catastrophize and make it worse than it is. So I can tell you very clearly that if you go into fear mode, if I go into fear mode, and I've had moments, the news is on, I hear something, you read, oh, it's moving to Connecticut. Of course, I'm not immune to that, but I don't ruminate on it. And then I do some things to center myself. Then I find some information to support myself and clarify. And I recommend you do the same thing here. So what happens if we go into fear, if we catastrophize, then it'll cause the primitive brain and when the primitive brain acts up, number 1 priority is survival. Number 2 is security, to be protected. And when that takes over, you can't control that. And when that takes over, that's it. The brain will produce all the neurochemicals, all the neuropeptides to support that. And that's called an amygdala hijacking. And people go into a freeze mode. And that's a proven, not just psychological, but physiological, neurological process. And then we can't think, we can't strategize, and we feel, like mush. Have you been there? Can you relate? And that is an even bigger risk, because all of that will then weaken what? Your immune system. And the immune system is our body's first line of defense. So we need to keep it supported. So this virus, people older, I'm 68, people 60 and older, 70s, 80s. But it's not just age-related as higher risk. It's also their lifestyle. It's also how they eat. It's also, do they already have a compromised immune system? Do they have a history of disease and that they're dealing with? Then, of course, they're more vulnerable. If someone suffers from cancer or has recovered from, I don't even want to mention different topics, but you get what I'm saying? So then we need to be extra careful if we're in that category. So be careful what you hear. So acknowledging. So there's a high level of uncertainty I want to talk about. And there's also with the economy. We don't have a proven vaccine yet. And even if they come up with one today, it's going to take at least months, if not toward the end of the year, before they can produce it, etc. So that's for the geneticists. That's for the scientists. And there are some of the world's greatest minds now are working on this. Know that. That is a fact. So again, we're not alone. We just need to isolate, voluntarily quarantine, socially distance, and again, you know this, and balance, and all the recommendations. Second, so I'm sure you get the idea. That's part one. So the enemy to, excuse me, I got my high-level cards here, is the enemy would be what? Fear and distress. And that's why things like going for a walk, socially distant. Barbara and I went for a walk yesterday. There were very few people. There may be another half a dozen, and we were nowhere near anybody out in the countryside. Those of you who live in the city, that may not be readily available to you. So if you can find a place where you can be a nice long distance apart and take proper precautions, or walk around your house, but physical, or dance, put on some music and dance. Physical movement is so important because it's a natural way to release. Your relaxation techniques, your yoga, meditation, etc. Again, you get the idea? So manage your inner dialogue. Watch out for what you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself. Number two in this framework would be, you got to have a clear goal. You want to have clarity. Well, duh, Ken. The obvious, or I'd rather call it intention, your intention. Goals can be fickle. Right now, our goal is to stay healthy. Right now, our goal is to not get infected. And if we are infected, to minimize the what do you call it, the symptoms. And apparently there's a very, very small, less than 1-2% of people who get it who are suffering severely and or risk I can't say the word, dying with that. So our intention is to minimize, right? Our intention is to have vibrant health. Our intention is, our goal is to have vital health, strong immune system. So we want to think ahead today, tomorrow, next month, next year, to future pace it. And we're going to go through some of this in the guided meditation with that. Remember the law of attention. Whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. And whatever you give energy to will grow and multiply. So because of this, we're all in a state of grief. We've lost our way of life, and we don't know what to expect. If you look at Elizabeth, remember the famous hero of many of us, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross? She called it the natural grieving cycle. And that natural grieving cycle, let's see if you're able to see this. I was listening to a webinar, and again, I wasn't able to prepare because I just did this. I've been reading and researching, and I able to see it. But it begins with denial. I admit, I was in denial for like, oh God, here we go again. They're always warning us about something. So then we avoid, and then there's confusion, and then there's shock, and then there's fear. So grief of a loss of someone or something, we go through that. And this is a loss of life. This is a loss of business for some, a loss of interaction with our family and loved ones. I mean, relative to the risk of well-being and life, one of the things I'm grieving personally is we were set yesterday to travel to California to be for the birthday weekend with our grandchildren who I haven't seen for at least 3 months or so. And I was very sad. I'm still sad about it and upset. But I'm not wallowing on it. I'm doing my best, so we're doing video calls. Next stage would be anger. And this is where we feel frustration. This is where we feel irritation. This is where we feel anxiety growing. It's a natural part of the process. Then there's depression, potentially, where we feel overwhelmed, where we feel hopelessness, maybe, a little bit of hostility, where we're going to fight, protect ourselves. And then the next stage, Kubler-Ross says, is bargaining. where we find strategies to find meaning, to understand what the heck's going on. Reaching out to others, telling our own story. So where are you right now in this cycle? And then last to be acceptance, and where we begin to explore the new realities and options and how we can sustain and grow and continue to evolve and continue to do, to live a fulfilling life, which I think ultimately what we all want is to have a fulfilling, happy, vibrant life. Part of that acceptance is having a new plan, and moving into a new space, a new sense of acceptance. I hope that helps. Excuse me, some of this is falling apart with that. So this is all part of the acknowledgement and the intention. The third step in this framework would be strategy, plan. You gotta have a plan, you gotta have a strategy, not just take it as it comes. Again, go to reliable sources. So part of that strand is washing your hands frequently, getting at least 70% alcohol-based or ethyl alcohol, I understand, is best. Wipes, sanitizer, disinfecting, social distancing. This is all part of a plan, a strategy. What I do best and can offer you and support is, again, yes, some information, but the guided meditations, which is coming very soon, that we're going to focus on. But I just thought that would be important, and I want you to use this as you plan after this workshop, after this master class, so that you can, as time goes by, and I'll be back to do more and more with you. Here's where we support the information. So some of the part of the plan and strategy might be, I had some notes here that I want to remember, is find some humor, tell some jokes. In our family, my best friend and mate, Barbara, who we've joked about, well, she's found a new sense of humor and a funny bone. Every day she's posting a thought, a quote for the day, a joke for the day, and whether they're silly or great, it's putting a smile on all of our faces. And we're doing FaceTimes and WhatsApps and video calls to just maintain our connection. These are things. Write this down. You got to make sure you sleep. Especially now, you may find yourself. I admit, during the 10 days of training, I found myself in the morning, every morning, a couple of times, multiple times, and I waking up saying, oh, gee, am I doing the right thing? Is everything okay? Even though we're in a very small facility, we had no public interaction. We were there to start and then started going crazy. So luckily, we were blessed that I use a small facility and there's no other meeting room. So you got to sleep minimum 7.5 to 9 hours. Nap during the day, meditate. 5 minutes a day is good, twice a day, 10 minutes is better, 15 minutes is excellent. Since 1966, Mr. Silva has taught, we've taught in the Silva method, if you have a health challenge, 3 times a day, 15 minutes each time. And now is the time, if you practice any meditation technique and do your Silva, what we call dynamic meditation, reduce sugar consumption. Too much sugar in the body will what? Interfere with your immune function. Walk, kindness, random acts of kindness. I saw a video of an elderly man out in somewhere in the countryside in Turkey. He couldn't go shopping. He needed food. And he called the police. And a police officer came, took his order, and went and got it for him. Wow. There's so many random acts of kindness. People helping. People, I know there's a lot of hostility and craziness, but there's also lots of acts of kindness. Connecting with people, support. You get the idea? Look, make sure I cover connect. Fourth step is act on what you know. Do it. Do it. Implement, 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 implement. So trust in your tools. Follow through. Act on them. You know better. You've got great information. So I'm going to teach you shortly this self-healing meditation I've used. So it's powerful meditation that you can then duplicate on your own. Please then use it, not just now, as I'm guiding you. And then last and not least, and this will be, you'll see how I'm going to tie this into the meditation, appreciate, claim it, celebrate the success, exaggerate it, yay. do, virtual high five, virtual, chest bump. And appreciation, feeling gratitude, research is showing, helps us to get into a state of grace, helps us to get into a state of calm. It helps to support the immune function. It helps to create heart coherence. It helps to create brain coherence. And it helps us to stabilize our biological function. Again, you may know that. Please avoid being the know-it-all. Do it. I meet too many people who are so well educated, they know more than anybody I know on the planet, or so it seems, but they don't live it, they don't practice it. What good is it to know something if you're not actually using it? That's my message. I've been saying that, I've been teaching that since Jose Silva picked me out of 1,000 Silva instructors to travel the globe in 1984. There were only 4 of us, including Mr. Silva, doing advanced presentations. Wow, he honored me. Such a blessing. And he gave me an opportunity to get connected in this community, and I appreciate that. And those positive emotions help to put us in that state. So celebrate it for this. So how are we going to do this? We know fact, our immune system is our best line of defense. So some of the things, supplement. I just heard a presentation by Greg Braden, and mainstream medicine will tell you supplementation is a waste. Well, most mainstream medicine does not study nutrition like naturopathic physicians do. And we have a serious problem with soil depletion. We have a serious, people don't eat properly, people eat junk food. And all I can say is there is evidence there to support more and more good supplements. So whether it be things like extra zinc, whether it be things like elderberry extra, I'm not recommending, but I'm using that myself, whether it be extra vitamin C in a scorbate form is best, helps to boost the immune system and protect us. Quarantining helps, etc., to protect us. So let's take a look then. So allow a deep breath. Shake it out. Quick little pause. I've been going for about 40 minutes. I've had this book for 90 minutes to allow that time. I wanted to do this to support that. So I'm just going to go briefly, and then I'll build it out, and then we'll do it. And this process, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with Silva method, this process was developed by Mr. Jose Silva based on 22 years of research in hypnosis and meditation, biofeedback, the study of the brain science, which back then was brand new, and with a lot of research in psychology, it's now become known as positive psychology. And all I'll say is this proprietary process is the most copied, most imitated on the planet. And most thought leaders like Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, T. Harv Eker, Vishen Lakhiani, even John Assaraf has been through the Silva training. It is the most copied, most imitated, because it works. That's why I tell you this. I'm proud to be part of it, a pioneer, when way back in the 60s and 70s, it was just us and transcendental meditation. And what the process is the whole point of meditation is to quiet the critical mind, logic. So we have, if you look on the chart behind me, we have our objective mode of consciousness, and this is what we call scalable evolution. And that's where critical thinking, that's where the facts that are important. We need facts. That's where the figures, this is the show me the money, the objective part. Show me the money. This is the accountant, the money manager in us. But then the subjective, what psychologists have identified for eons, subconscious. And here, logic and reasoning don't prevail. And logic and reasoning, if they come in, it'll bring you right out. And here we're like young children. We learn fast. We're highly suggestible. We learn fast. We accelerate healing, just like young children who are naturally there. Don't have time to go into detail, but that is fact, the science behind it. We call it in a conscious level. So the whole point of this, of guided meditation, dynamic meditation, which means we can be passive, quiet, and active, focus, use visualization, mental rehearsal, and not lose it. Back in the 60s and 70s, even the 80s, that was new. People thought, no, you can't do that. Now it's the most copied. So that's why we explain everything at the risk of boring you. Be patient. If you're really serious, love yourself enough to give yourself the information. And with that information, that knowledge. That's all I'm going to say. I don't mean to sound crass, but that's a fact. And Because if you sit in a meditation and you start to question, why is he saying that? What's that about? What does that mean? You're going to come right out and nothing's going to work. If you sit during your meditation wondering, am I deep enough? Am I doing it right? Will I live? You're going to come right out of it. The critical mind will take over, and that's it. So at the risk of boring people, slowing it down, we give you the information so that you can sit quietly, and it's like, oh, gee, I heard this already. It's a proven process. That's all I'm going to say. And I've worked with over 200,000 people live, not on video, live, in huge groups, small groups, and I have access to a network, a global network. We've been in 100 countries, 110, and we have millions and millions and millions of people just through the Silva program, let alone millions and millions that have copied it as a result, and it works. So access to our team of instructors globally. So that's my point. I'm saying this to emphasize, do it, it works. So there are 5 steps in the self-healing meditation. Number 1 in the self-healing meditation is you want to center yourself, use your 3-to-1 method, use your Silva technique. I'm not going to mention it. We're just going to eyes closed, 3 slow, deep cleansing breaths. Second, we'll do some appreciation, gratitude. I'll have you think about that and feel it. Emotion's the driving force, so you really want to exaggerate it. Third step will be healing thoughts. What I mean by that is, when we worry about ourselves, understandably, we run the risk of becoming obsessed. And when we become obsessed, we tend toward narcissism. And when we're narcissistic, it's self-absorption, and it doesn't help. It makes things worse. It creates too much stress and tension in the body. So we need then to reduce that. So one way is to detach. I admit, one of the things I love about doing this work is, if ever I'm in a funk, if ever I'm feeling a little bit caught up in stuff, and I do something like this, a workshop, or I work with one of my coach clients, or I create a video, I come out of it. Because as you give, so shall you receive. And even scripture and all the spiritual leaders throughout the ages have taught us, and there's even brain research to show this, that when we give, when we serve, when we help, when we random acts of kindness, something changes in our own physiology and our own brain that supports a healthy body, mind, and spirit, that supports your immune system. So I'm going to ask you to think of people you're concerned about, say a prayer for them. Bless them. You can just say, God bless them, whatever your spiritual persuasion is. You can imagine a white light with a bluish tint enveloping them. You can imagine them, mentally rehearse them, walking briskly and everything A-OK. Excuse me. Get the idea? And the 4th step will be creative visualization. This is where dynamic meditation comes in. Mentally rehearse your best self as if, no matter what, you're healthy, vibrant, and here it is weeks later, months later, years later, thriving, enjoying your family, enjoying your friends, feeling fine, and etc. And whatever that means to you, be as detailed as you can and exaggerate it, emote it. Okay, you get the idea? So be clear about your intention. I'll guide you. And then the last step would be a bring out. So in this instance, I have some affirmations I'm going to read to you, and I'll ask you to emote it. And then I'll just simply say, time's up. It's good to have that for this. So first step is we're centering ourselves. Second step is we're appreciating. Third step is some healing thoughts to someone other than yourself. Next step is some creative visualization about yourself, your best self, your health, your well-being, your business, etc. Then, like asking, what if my life, I'm healthy and vibrant and thriving? What would my life be like? What if? And again, I'll guide you. And then, I can't read my writing. Excuse me, you're out in excellent health. Forgive me, I just blanked out for a second. So, again, shake it out. Allow a deep breath. And I'm going to use those sound effects. Are you ready, guys, gals, folks? Again, I really appreciate your patience. Since I see Most everybody's still on the call. That's fantastic. A few bailed. Hey, if you're resonating with this, fantastic. All I can do is my best. Please share this. When it's on the blog page, there are people who do resonate. And there are tons of people out there doing their own thing, helping find them who you resonate with. So let's get ready for this exercise. And then at the very end, I'm going to share with you some resources I trust you'll find very helpful. We'll do that then. So this is, I didn't time it because I was working on it today, but it'd be about 10 minutes, 15 tops. And we're still plenty of time with that, based on what I sent out as a schedule. Okay, fair enough. So again, thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Allow your eyelids to close. And if you sneak a peek, you'll see that my eyes are closed at times, and times my eyes are open, checking in case there's something on the track screen. And someone said that it's not activated. Well, I am recording this, so no worries. Thank you very much, Suzanne and Call, privately, and you're welcome. So I have a control panel here, so we should be good and everything is fine. So welcome back. Okay, so again, allow your eyelids to close. Nice and easy, take your time. Now remember, slow, deep belly breath as you inhale. So let's use the brain is very responsive to metaphors, to symbols. So you can imagine Mother Earth, nature, or whatever you subscribe to, that as you inhale, you're drawing in this wonderful energy. Just imagine like you could imagine you're drawing it in from your feet, or you can imagine you're under a waterfall, a gentle waterfall, or a shower, and you're being showered with light and energy and good vibes and healing thoughts. And if you subscribe, God's graces, again, whatever you resonate with. So allow that very slow, deep breath. Take your time. Feel your belly nice and easy. Hold it briefly, as best you can. No pressure. Exhale out your mouth. It's okay to make noise. Very good. Exhaling. Keep exhaling, releasing any tensions, releasing any toxins. Excellent. Good job. Now allow another very slow, deep breath. Take your time. That's it. Very good. You've got that shower over you, that waterfall, or you could imagine you're drawing in energy through your feet. That's it. Bringing in energy and vitality. Nice and easy. Fill your belly. Hold it briefly. And then exhale out your mouth. And imagine releasing that which no longer serves your highest good. Again, if you're a Silva practitioner, you're going along with me with the 3-2-1 method. Keep releasing the tensions. Excellent. Now allow another very slow, deep breath. Take your time. That's it. Very good. Hold it briefly. Exhaling out your mouth. How good it feels to progressively relax. Deeper and deeper. It's a wonderful, healthy state of mind and body. Take your time. To help you enter an even deeper, more relaxed state of mind and body, I'm going to count slowly from 10 to 1. And you can imagine, some people imagine as if they're going down an escalator, or imagine going down an elevator, or just simply relaxing more and more, like you're getting a wonderful, healthy, therapeutic massage. 10, 9, feel going deeper, more and more relaxed. 8, 7, 6, more and more relaxed. 5, 4, 3, deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. 2, 1. How good it feels to progressively relax deeper and deeper. This feeling of relaxation continues to flow throughout your body, all the way from the tip of your head, all the way down, through your body, all the way down to your toes. The second step in our self-healing meditation. In a moment, I'll remain quiet while you allow yourself the opportunity to feel some genuine appreciation. Who's in your life right now you're happy is in your life? Who's in your life you like to think about and connect with? What are some of the opportunities that are still available to you? Remember, this is a temporary condition. This too shall pass. We just need time. That's something to appreciate. And as you appreciate, exaggerate it, feel it. Take your time. I'll remain quiet now. Okay, now the third step. Slowly. Can you think of anyone in your life you'd like to imagine a healing thought? Perhaps a prayer, a blessing, whatever it is that you practice. You can imagine this person as if within what we in the Silva method call the laboratory, or on your mental screen, or as if they're out in front of you. And you can imagine, some people like to imagine a white light with a bluish tint, completely enveloping this person from the tip of their head, tip of their toes. Some people find it helpful to say a prayer, to say God bless this person. Some people use symbology and imagine as if they've got a laser beam of light and energy and love. Or they just imagine the feeling in their heart of love completely enveloping this person. One at a time, I'll give you a few moments. Think of some people in your life. And imagine them, imagine healing thoughts. One at a time. Think good, wonderful thoughts. Perhaps visualize, imagine and to visualize this person, vibrant, healthy, sustaining life, living a more fulfilling life. Take your time. I'll give you a few moments now privately to do this. Continue imagining healing thoughts. Whatever helps you to have a mental picture, a clear mental picture or image or feeling of this person healthy, alive, and vibrant. Now finish up your thoughts a little bit. Okay, clear your mind. And the fourth step, free yourself. Now is a good time to focus on yourself. Imagine and to visualize you in your life, in all the situations that are important to you personally, with your family, your friends, in your business, in the community. You're thriving. Imagine your best self emerging in all that you do. And as you do, celebrate it. Smile on your face. Feel good about it. In addition, to help activate this, you can ask yourself the question, what if? What if I am vibrant, alive, healthy, and vibrant? What if I come out of this in excellent health, thriving, learning the lessons? What if our whole global community comes out of this? And we will. It's a temporary condition. Having learned the lessons, and perhaps better than ever before. Take your time to imagine and to visualize this, to mentally rehearse your desired outcomes, your goal, the end result. And how does this make you feel? How does this make you feel? Emote it. What are the benefits? as your best self emerges in all that you do, in every aspect of your life, how will this benefit you and those you care about? I will now read to you the following statements for your better health. Keep in mind that I am speaking with you and for you, and as you hear these thoughts, do your best to imagine and to visualize what it means to you and how it makes you feel. Imagine some visual symbology. You can repeat mentally after me, quietly in the privacy of your mind. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every cell, tissue, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. And what does that mean to you? How will you be able to live your life as a result? Do your best to create some imagery, some mental pictures of feelings, especially how it makes you feel. You can continue to repeat after me. I am able to function in harmony, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to promote maximum benefits. What does that mean to you? Imagine and to visualize your desired outcome. Continue to mentally repeat after me. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. What are some of those activities now? Think of it. Imagine and visualize you taking the steps, implementing, acting responsibly, doing the very things regularly and consistently that you know promote good health and well-being. Do this now. Imagine and visualize or just feel it. Continue to repeat after me. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images take precedence at any level and depth. How good it feels. Remember to practice this once a day is good, twice a day, even better. Excellent, 3 times a day. And now in a moment, this exercise will end. And at that moment, you may open your eyelids, be wide awake and alert, feeling fine and in excellent health, feeling much, much better than before, feeling revitalized and rejuvenated, feeling much better than before. Okay, you may repeat after me before you open your eyelids. I feel great today, and I shall accomplish great things. I have something valuable to give to the world, and the world will repay me in wealth, spiritually, mentally, physically. Today, I shall act as though it is impossible for me to fail. I feel healthy. I am healthy. I feel vibrant and alive. I am vibrant and alive. Take your time. You may now open your eyelids, be awake, be alert, feeling much, much better than before, feeling fantastic. Thank you. Welcome back, you genius, you. And good morning. Give yourself a hand. You rock. Wow. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. I know there are many forms. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't. But I do have some answers, and they're answers that do work. So I hope you use them and implement them. Wow. So let me just remind you, this self-healing meditation, the 5 steps, center yourself, and again, you can look at the video and get clarity. Appreciate, so your eyelids are closed, of course. Appreciate, healing thoughts to somebody other than yourself. Then take care of yourself, some visualization about yourself, and then come out in excellent health. And I just noticed it's reversed, so it's opposite. So you have to, I don't know, do that. Forgive me on that, with that. So let me just say a couple of things. I have some resources for you that I want to share with you. Thank you for being here to the end. In fact, it's not even 90 minutes yet, a little over an hour. Thanks for your patience. However, these are trusted resources. Again, I know you have some. I don't have all the answers. I'm not here to prescribe. I just want to share with you. People have asked me for this. People have been sending in questions. So I'm just responding to support my community. And it's probably going to be backwards, but some of the key resources. Number one, theoptimistdaily.com. I have nothing to do with them. I subscribe to them. I donate to them. I believe in them. I've been a subscriber for many years. If you're not already, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to subscribe. That's up to you. Optimist Daily. Every single day, 5 days a week, and on the weekends, I have overviews. They will post positive information. What's going on in the world? Breakthroughs in science, breakthroughs in medicine, breakthroughs in technology. It's all about what's good in the world. And we are in an exciting time. Believe it or not, there is far more good and breakthroughs than anything else. And unfortunately, the mainstream media is not there. Another one is I have a website called trustyourintuitionacademy.com. If some of what I'm working with, if some of what I'm doing with you is helping and you like the sound of my voice, and if you don't already, consider getting them. If you have them, take them out and use them. It works. Or take out your favorite meditation or whatever voice you like. Do it. Do something though, please. So one is the big relax with the alpha sound. You've got a video course for 30 minutes that will teach you how to use it. You don't have to be a Silva grad. Second, it's got then the alpha healing sound. It's our concept, Jose's. Work with that. I've been using that every day, sometimes twice a day. Work with his instructions on the video. The downloads as bonuses for $25. You can't go wrong. Another one is the Opening Your Heart meditation that I teach in my Mastery Graduate Advanced Program. And it goes much deeper into this thing like the self-healing meditation and more so. It works. I've gotten wonderful feedback on that. Again, consider it. Another one is Silva Cases, number 3, silvacases.com. If you don't know that website, a shout out to Ken Rice. He is a local Connecticut grad, a dear friend of mine. We become friends because of Silva. He's an incredible intuitive. He's a techie. He's just a really cool guy, and he donated it, and it's an expensive thing. Even myself, to maintain all my websites, to maintain the technology, to present this, and all the security measures you have to do so it's safe, cost. It's not free, even though this is free. So he has a donate button on. That's why I also sell some things. It helps keep things going here. But silvacases.com, you can post emergency cases, you can practice caseworking, even if you're not a graduate. But if you are a Silva grad, caseworking is vitally important to practice, to hone your intuition. And also, our research shows that as you give, so shall you receive. And when you take your time, it's an act of love to send healing thoughts to somebody else. You keep a template, you keep a master copy on yourself. Use it. Another resource, let's see, excuse me, is I can't read my writing. My video blogs on my webpage, on my website, Silva Method of Connecticut or Silva Method CT. As you know, I travel the world. I do these classes all over, not just Connecticut and Chicago. I'm blessed people when we were live, traveling from all over the world to my classes in the States. Thank you, thank you.